Is there anything better than a hot chocolate dessert served with some cool ice cream? Whether you're hosting a dinner party or just fancy a naughty treat, it's chocolate volcano cakes on Dining for Dorks. Okay, so to start off, the ingredients that we need are 350 grams of dark chocolate. You can use milk chocolate, but I find dark chocolate suits this recipe better. 50 grams of softened butter, half a cup of castor sugar, a quarter of a cup of plain all-purpose flour, a teaspoon of vanilla, and 4 eggs. I'm going to start off by melting our chocolate. What I'm going to do is simply break it up into small cubes, put it into a microwave safe container, and microwave it a blast of 30 seconds at a time. After every 30 seconds, just take it out, give it a stir, and continue until the chocolate is nice and smooth and lump free. Okay, so our chocolate is now completely melted, nice and smooth, no lumps. We're just going to set this aside and allow it to cool down. Next we get the softened butter, and we'll just pop it into a mixing bowl. Then we'll take the castor sugar, just empty it in there. And what we're going to do is just mix this until the sugar and butter have incorporated into a sort of a paste-like substance. And we just want to keep mixing this until the sugar and butter combine. What we're going to do now is add our eggs one at a time. And after each egg, just mix it into the butter and sugar mixture. Then we'll add our teaspoon of vanilla extract. And then our quarter of a cup of plain all-purpose flour. We can't use self-raising flour because it'll just simply overflow and turn into a sponge cake. We're not really trying to get a sponge consistency. We want to make like a moist pudding. We'll just fold that in there. Okay, now it's time for the good bit. We'll add the chocolate. Obviously you want to get as much of that chocolate in as possible. You can never get enough chocolate. And I said before, the reason I use dark chocolate here is because I find it's much richer than milk chocolate as far as desserts are concerned. And what we need to do now is just mix all of that chocolate into our mixture. Look at that, it just looks absolutely fantastic. We're going to place our mixture into ramekin dishes. What you need to do is just grease them with some butter, just to make sure it's easy to get out. And also, I'd recommend putting just a circle of greaseproof paper just at the base of the ramekin dish. It'll just make it easier getting the chocolate cake out. What I'm also going to do, just to ensure that the bottom gets cooked properly, is actually preheat the baking tray itself. So I'm just going to pop this into the oven for around 5 to 10 minutes, just so it heats up, and in the meantime I'm going to put our mixture into the ramekin dishes. Okay, so I'm just going to start pouring our mixture into the ramekin dishes. Now you can pretty much fill this to the top. Because it's not self-raising flour, it won't overflow. Okay, so our baking tray is now preheated. I'm just going to place the ramekins on the baking tray, and these are going to go into the oven for around 10 to 12 minutes, or until you can see the base of it becoming like cake-like, so it looks a bit like sponge cake and soft to the touch. And that's going to go into the oven at 200 degrees Celsius. Okay, so these have been in the oven probably for around 6 minutes or so, and you can see what I was talking about. It's almost like a sponge cake on top. So what I'm going to do is just let them cool very slightly, and then we're going to overturn it onto a plate and see how it turned out. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just gently run a knife around the edges of the ramekin dish, just freeing the cake from the sides, so it's easier to get out. When we turn it upside down, okay, now be pretty careful with this because it is still pretty hot, and we'll just gently turn it around and lift the dish up, and you can see the steam coming off there. Here is the paper we put on just to make it easier to come out. Now what I'm going to do, for some decoration, just sprinkle some icing sugar over the top. And here we go, the moment of truth when we cut into this. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. Lovely, gooey, hot chocolate centre. Looks absolutely fantastic, and it smells fantastic as well. You can have this with fresh cream or ice cream, or you can just have it on its own. Now, obviously I need to let this cool down before I eat it because it is still incredibly hot. But look at that. It looks absolutely fantastic. And there you go, another masterpiece in minutes. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and feel free to leave a comment. Until next time, this is Dining for Dorks. Try not to burn the house down.